Nobody thinks they're interesting, everybody's wildly fascinating, and it tends to be the more boring professions that are the most interesting. Nobody lets you talk about accounting for 30 minutes. Tech, cybersecurity, all that stuff that's really niche. People think, oh, well, nobody really cares, when really it affects every parts of our lives.
Welcome to People at Pyramid, a weekly podcast that introduces you to your fellow Pyramid Club members. My name is Vince Quinn, the Content Studio Director, and I'm here to showcase the stories of your fellow members, explore the ways that they can help you and your network, and make it easy for you to connect. With that, let's meet our next member. Elyse, could you please introduce yourself?
My name's Elyse Notarianni. I own a ghostwriting and digital marketing agency called Townie Creative, and I've been a Pyramid Club member for about 6 months now.
Okay, so ghostwriting. Can you explain ghostwriting, please?
So basically, I interview people and I write as if I am them. So I'll put it into books, newsletters, blogs, articles, website copy, social media, anything that can be written.
Wow. Okay. And so when you're doing all of this writing and getting this all into all of these different places, clearly you have to write as somebody else, right? You're like writing as that person. So when people are coming to you, like, what is it like to build that relationship and understand somebody's voice and mindset?
It really is about getting to know the people themselves before anything about work. And so it's having candid conversations with them. It's making sure that all of my interviews don't actually feel like interviews. I tell people that they just should sit and chat with me. I share a lot about my life during interviews. I don't tell people that that's why I'm doing it, but every time I share about my life, they tend to come back with more deeper, more personal things for me. And that's where we find a lot of the really cool pieces of information to share.
I love that because, yeah, I mean, obviously, this is an interview, right? And like trying to find those ways where you can make it casual and get that true value of it. Like, because you got to drive the conversation somewhere. And in this case, you've got to get these people to open up, which is not easy to do.
No.
Let's take it to a standpoint then. Is there anything from those kinds of conversations, sharing personal details, you said, is one way to do it. But I'm at a networking event, right? I want to connect with these people. I've just been standing in a circle and trying to build a relationship. Are there any other tips, tricks, interviewing, good ways to build a connection with somebody?
Be completely curious about other people and don't talk about yourself at all. So I found at networking events, they've been great for me because I'm a ghostwriter. I can live ghostwrite in front of people. So I'll ask them questions about themselves, about what they do. I ask them really in-depth questions about what they do, or things that they would think would bore me, but absolutely do not, because they get excited to talk about it because nobody else will ask them. And then I will just repeat it back to them. And so it works well for me as a ghostwriter because I can show what I do, but it works for anybody because it shows that you're listening and that you care and that you're invested in their business.
So how much do you deal with this standpoint of, oh, I'm boring. I don't have anything to say. I'm not interesting.
All the time. Nobody thinks they're interesting. Everybody's wildly fascinating. And it tends to be the more boring professions that are the most interesting.
Really?
Well, partly because nobody lets you talk about it. Nobody lets you talk about accounting for 30 minutes. Nobody lets you talk about, I was going to say financial planning. I can't just pick on finance people. Yeah. But, tech, cybersecurity, all that stuff that's really niche. People think, oh, well, nobody really cares, when really it affects every parts of our lives. Banking affects every part of our lives. We're on social media, we're on technology, and there's so many things that we should know about it, but we don't because we just forget to ask, and you forget all the information that you have that is useful to other people because it's so second nature to you.
Yeah, that does happen sometimes because, like, I'm a podcasting nerd, right? So it's a thing that everybody's aware of to some degree, but then they'll ask me something about content or podcasts, and I'll say something that's offhand, and to me, it's the 800 interesting thing that I've got to say on the topic, and it blows their mind, and I'm like, oh, wow, yeah, like, you do really get reminded of that stuff, and I think for everybody, like, that is such a challenge because you're posting on social media all the time, or everybody's telling you to post on social all the time. You are trying to build a brand voice, and a lot of times you are the business, so like being your own brand voice is hard. So for people who are thinking that, okay, I am boring, I'm not interesting, but I do need to get out there, I mean, how do you go about that process of like realizing that you're interesting or finding things to comfortably talk about?
Well, it's about finding a way to, whatever way works to get that out of you. Because again, baseline, everybody's interesting, wildly interesting. Everyone has very unique experience, very unique expertise, especially if they're here at the Pyramid Club. They are professionals in what they do. They're experts in what they do. Everybody here has something to share. And everybody here has a robust personal life that really impacts what they do at work, or what they do at work impacts their personal life. There's so much there. So it's figuring out how it best gets out of you. Some people are really good at writing it down. I'm a writer. That is easier for me. I write better than I speak most of the time. Most people speak better than they write. So it's finding a way that's comfortable. A lot of times, working with a ghostwriter is great because you can just have these conversations. They know kind of what rabbit holes to go down. It's kind of like I'm a therapist where I'm like, wait, let's explore that a little bit more deeply here. But you can even do it with your coworkers or your friends, and you can sit down and just say, hey, can we have a 30-minute, not even 30-minute, we have a 10-minute conversation about what we do, and just, what we're facing right now at work, what challenges we have. And see what comes out of that, record it, see what comes out of that. And you have, a transcript that you can use to write. You can have video clips if you want to video it, and just let it kind of flow naturally.
Yeah, no, that's all great. Like I will literally sometimes just walk around a room, like I will pace like a lion in a cage, and I will just talk out loud to myself
I do
about
that
what I'm
all
doing.
the
Yeah,
time. All the time.
it's so funny because it does help to just go, okay, I'm going to explore these crazy ideas that are in my head, and I'm just going to say something, and I'm going to follow. Because sometimes you say something that does spark, you have that moment, you're like, oh, actually, I'm going to dig into that a little bit more. So if you don't have somebody to talk with, just doing that totally works.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is that I've been doing recently is, okay, let's say I'm talking to a potential client or a current client, and something comes up, they ask me a question, and I've got an opinion on that thing. I will write that down with the idea that this can be content down the line. If it's for me, it might be a certain kind of editing software or how to look at equipment. People are always getting tied up with, oh, do I need like these super fancy, expensive microphones and whatever? Like, no, you don't. Same thing with cameras. No, you don't. So being able to talk about those kinds of things, it's been easier for me because it is my normal course of business. I do have an opinion on it. People have asked me about it, so I know that they're interested in that topic. It is a common enough question. So being able to have those kinds of things, just like documenting your day-to-day experience and converting that, has been very helpful for me, and is very much what you're doing for people.
Yeah. And people forget too. They always ask what's interesting to other people, and they forget to be like, what's interesting to me? What would I want to hear? And that's so simple. And sometimes it is, oh, I genuinely do want to go on a deep dive about cybersecurity, and that's cool. And sometimes it's, hey, I'm going through a divorce right now, and I would love to hear somebody talk about having to go through something really personally traumatic and have to run a business on top of it. Um, and people forget that it can be whatever it is that you want it to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny because sometimes when I talk to people who are wanting to start a show, but they don't know what to do, like what is the core of what they want to talk about? How do you define that to people with the branding and the kinds of topics that you pick and all that stuff? I will tell them, be as selfish as you can.
Yeah.
Like, like what is your business about? What do you really care about? What do you find the most interesting? Because the problem is, everybody looks at it as, I have to talk to this big audience, which is everybody on the planet on every social media platform, which is like crazy. And when you boil it all down to, okay, well, here's all this stuff that I care about in this very specific area because I spend all this time working on it or working to help people with a certain thing, then you're showcasing your expertise constantly. It's everything you do in your day to day. You are more comfortable because you're so passionate about doing that all the time. And it just kind of pours out of you. And
Mhm.
I think it's just, yeah, when you decide to say, okay, what do I actually want to talk about? What do I find interesting? And was it Toby Keith? Like, I want to talk about me. Like,
Yep.
if you start you start
It was
doing that,
lovely.
right? It was a great rendition. I'm going to do a cover show later at the
I
club.
love that.
So when you do that kind of thing, yeah, like it does just become easier, but people aren't used to, and they're never told to be selfish
Mhm.
when they're making this content. But yeah, I really do think it makes it easier, makes you create better stuff.
And guess what? If you don't do that, AI will do all the other stuff AI can do for you. All the generic things, all of the thoughts that everybody else has, all the things you think everybody wants to hear, so does AI, and you can get it in 30 seconds. So what's the point of going in of worrying about what the mass, public wants to hear, and just focus on what you want to share and what you are uniquely positioned to talk about, which is so many things. Everyone has such a unique experience. And we all just forget that.
Yeah, because we're just in it every day. I
Yeah.
see my face in the mirror every day, and I've done that for 35 years. I'm boring to me. But then it's like, okay, well, how do I make this interesting? How do I get it out there? And those are the kinds of turns that I've made. So, I mean, for you to be able to do that in ghostwriting and help all these people get it out on all of these platforms, I mean, so you're like a basically hand-in-hand voice for this person to cover anywhere that they're getting their message out for their marketing then.
Hmm. Yeah, I like to call myself a translator. I just take all of those complex thoughts and make it as easy as possible for other people to understand.
It's a beautiful thing. So when it comes to you doing this kind of work, what's a good connection for you, Elyse?
A good connection for me is anybody who wants to have a place online, whether for their personal brand or for their business.
Okay, and what's the best way to contact you?
Best way to contact me is either on Instagram at Townie Creative or through email at elyse@towniecreative.com.
Now, I follow Elyse on socials. You are very active on there, and I
Try.
do enjoy your posts. And one of the things, just on a personal level, I've seen you in the air with like ribbons, and you're doing this cool like this spinning and acrobatics. What is that?
So I do aerials outside of my daily job. One day I just decided to get up and join the circus, and so I'm not a dancer. I have no theatrical musicality background at all. It does not come naturally to me, but it's a really cool, fun thing to do.
Wow. So, I mean, what does it take? Like, what kind of muscles do I need developed in my flabby body to be
Everything
able to
everywhere.
everything everywhere?
Oh my gosh, it is so difficult. You're what, 20, I think I go to Secret Circus in Kensington. You're 27 feet up in the air. You got to invert upside down. You got to hold your body weight up, and you gain the muscle really quickly though.
Well, you have to because it's just fear. Otherwise, like, oh my God,
Yeah,
like,
otherwise you're falling.
I would be so tense. Like, I'm not afraid of heights. I just don't trust myself to hold my body at any height whatsoever.
But you know what's cool about that? So when I started going, I had just broken off my engagement. I was, I think, 106 pounds. I was not doing well. I couldn't hold my body weight up at all. And every time I went, I got a little bit stronger. And every time I did something that I did not think my body was capable of doing, and it became this really, really cool outlet for me and really cool way to build strength.
I love that. It's so awesome. So fun. Just watching the clips is fun. So yeah, if you're not following Elyse, connect with Elyse on socials. I see you all the time on LinkedIn and I think Instagram too. I think I'm following you on
Yes,
Instagram.
I
So
hope so.
yeah, it's hard. Taylor's mostly on Instagram for me, basically. But yeah, so that's where I see you. Make sure you connect with Elyse if you have not done that already. We will have a way to connect with her. The email, we'll put that in the show notes. So reach out to Elyse if you need ghostwriting help. Elyse, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.